All right, welcome back, Mr. Food Time. Hey, Abby, have you ever been to Philadelphia?
I have not.
Okay, I have, and
Did you try a Philly cheesesteak?
of course, I went online. I figured out which
Was
one's
the
the
best,
staple.
yes.
I went out there and I had one for the first time. A really solid experience, but you really have to set like an hour afterwards just to do nothing but sit because you're in a food coma and you can't do anything afterwards. It's a heavy meal, and it's what Mr. Food is showing us how to make this afternoon.
One of the best parts of my job is I get to travel around the country and meet so many of you, as well as to eat at all sorts of local joints that you recommend. Recently, while in Philadelphia, I got a chance to eat my way from one end of the city to the other. And although there were lots of favorites, I want to share the most famous one with you, the cheesesteak. And just like anything else, every place we went seemed to have their own twist on it. Most places make it with thinly sliced prime rib, while others opt for less expensive cuts. Then there are those who serve it steak-like, and others sort of chop it or shave it. To make an easy version at home, we start off by sauteing some thinly sliced onions in a bit of vegetable oil. Once they're golden, we saute some thinly sliced top round. Once that cooks through, we place it on a board, lightly chop it, and place it in a hoagie roll before topping it with the caramelized onions and lots of cheese sauce. It's a Philadelphia classic that'll satisfy anyone, anywhere. If it's good enough for Rocky Balboa, I'm sure it'll knock your socks off. The simple step-by-step recipe for our Philly cheesesteak sandwiches is online now, so you can enjoy the taste of the city of brotherly love right at home. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an easy cheesy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
And it really is. And that's what Chef Will is cooking up today.
Yeah.
That's what you all voted on.
I know, it was our Friday recipe, so no one had the chance to watch the segment before voting, and yet the idea of a Philly cheesesteak catapulted to the top of the poll, and that means, Chef Will, you've been working hard on preparing Philly cheesesteaks for us, and we just had our first bites. Will, walk us through how you made it.
Absolutely. So this was pretty straightforward. In terms of the beef, Mr. Food just said thinly sliced beef, so I just kind of went with what they had at the store. So it was top round and very thinly sliced New York strip. I also went the extra mile and made my own cheese whiz, which is a pound of cheddar, a pound of American cheese, 2 cans of evaporated milk, and some ground mustard, oil, and a little xanthan gum for thickening.
Who knew that you could make your own cheese whiz?
Yeah. I was going to comment on the cheese. It has such a great flavor, and it's that exact creamy kind of finish you want with a good Philly cheesesteak.
Oh,
excellent job, Will.
Yeah, and then I also did slice up the onions and mix them in with the beef as opposed to pouring them on top, because I think that just gives you more onion and beef in every bite. And this also freezes really well, so you can make up a big batch of this, on Monday and just keep warming it up all week for different sandwiches or even different applications, to be honest.
I like the size too, because it's a hoagie roll, so it's it's handheld, it's easy to manage. We're eating it in a studio, so you don't want something super messy, and it was pretty easy to pick up on a small plate. And it's not a huge sort of thing that's going to require you to have that food coma or a nap that I referenced earlier. So that's a good feature too.
It's
I was
got
about
a really
to say
good
nice
flavor.
and small, no food comas.
No food comas.
Yeah,
I love that.
Don't want that.
No, it is really, really good, Will, and it seems like it was pretty easy to make. You could make it maybe on, prep it beforehand and then get it all together.
Yeah, it's definitely simple. I also kind of cooked it in a pot in the oven, so you didn't get grease all over the cooktop. If that's a concern you have, just stir it like every 20 minutes and it will come out tasting exactly like a Philly cheesesteak. I was actually very surprised how that came about.
Awesome. Well, where can we learn about these recipes and find out more about you?
So yeah, Wandering Chef WCTV is the Instagram handle. This week I'll be posting a little video showing how I made the homemade cheese whiz. And I would just and later this week this will come up too, I wanted to take a quick moment to give a quick shout out to my grandmother, who very much enjoyed watching this segment. She was always very proud to see one of her grandkids take up the family mantle of cooking. And unfortunately, about an hour ago, I got the word she had passed away. So this is just kind of my in memoriam moment to her.
Oh, we are so sorry for your loss. But you know what? She passed along some amazing skills to you. And we and everybody here at the station and in our community, we are reaping the benefits, Will.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Will. And all of us are thinking of your family right now. Stay with us. We'll be right back.